Okay, and now we will introduce the show. This show is called Cinderella. When you hear that word, Cinderella, what things come to your mind? Silence and emptiness. Not me. What words come to your mind? Wicked stepmoms. Fairies. Anything else? Very good. Okay, so I think you're familiar with the show and you've probably seen the Disney version. I have too. But this is not the Disney version. It is better than the Disney version. But not to disappoint, yes, there is a princess. Some of the cast members are quite charming. The iconic ugly stepsisters are quite ugly. Now, there may or may not be mice. There may or may not be singing. And there may or may not be a pumpkin. There may or may not be a grandma, a sword, and a cell phone. Cell phone? Cell phone? Sure. Okay. There is a story that is magical, and it does give hope for the downcast. And there is a message of forgiveness. I guarantee you that you will be delighted this evening. And now it's time for watch for the glass slipper, Cinderella.
Girls, are you coming?
We'll be right there!
You're not going to find them.
Find what?
The cookies you're looking for.
Why can't we have our cookies?
You can, as soon as we finish with story time.
Granny, this is so unfair.
How is this unfair?
You invited us over for the day, you promised us our favorite dinner, and you promised us our favorite cookies. Now you won't give them to us.
But I told you, I will.
After we listen to some goofy fairy tale.
It is not some goofy fairy tale. It is my favorite story of all time.
I know, but we're not kids anymore. It's just weird to have to sit through story time.
Well, I'm not a kid anymore either, but I still love reading stories.
Well, I've heard that sometimes when people get old, they start to go back to childhood all over again. Jenny?
Well, sweetheart, we're going to let that one slide for the moment.
Listen, Grammy. You know that we love spending time with you. I actually missed going to hang out with some friends to be here today because it's so much fun being with you.
That's okay, dear.
Okay, Grammy. What story did you want to read?
Your favorite, dear.
No, that is not my favorite. I'm so tired of that story. What story? Cinderella. Oh, I love that story. Granny always used to read that one to us, and we thought it was so cool because her name is Cinderella, and my name is Cindy, I know.
I was so excited when they named you Cindy. Did you know that I got the book to you before you even left the hospital?
Really? Okay, let's see. I'm 15, and you've told that story to me about 1,000 times a year. So, well, you do the math.
Come on, Cindy. Indulge your dear old Grammy.
It's not that I'm just painfully tired of this story. It's like the worst story to tell a young, impressionable girl.
Whatever do you mean?
Are you serious? Cinderella is the most anti-feminist story ever written. A poor orphan girl relies on magical forces to receive the one thing she had always dreamed about. A wealthy handsome prince who will give meaning to her life. Where's the message of self-reliance? Where's the message of standing up for yourself? And don't even get me started about how this story sets sisterhood back generations. There's a message. Women can't be close because they'll always be competing for Prince Charming.
What are they teaching you in that school?
To think for myself. Well, Granny, I like Cinderella. She's so pretty. There's more to life than being pretty. She just says that because she's not. You better be quiet, you brat. She's just jealous because she knows that I got her looks and fashion sense in the family. I'm warning you.
Now both of you stop it. I am your grandmother. I'm going to read you a story. You're going to sit still. You're going to listen, and you are going to enjoy it. Now, sit. 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 There. Everyone comfortable? Good. Once upon a time, there was a very special kingdom. The kingdom was filled with wonderful magic and with beautiful people. Now, of all the people in that kingdom, the two most beautiful were the wife of the man who worked for the king and her daughter, who at just 8 years old was already as beautiful on the inside as she was on the outside, for she was the kindest and most loving person that anyone in the kingdom would have ever met.
It's wonderful, Your Highness. No, I'm supposed to say that. I'm the lady. You are the king.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Your Highness. You danced wonderfully.
Well, what shall we do now?
Mother, I believe I'd like to be queen one day.
Well, that is not easy, but you never know what can happen.
How do you get to be queen?
Well, your father's not the king, so you need to marry the prince, and then you become the queen when he became the king.
We saw the prince riding through the fields last month. He seemed very nice. Then I suppose I shall marry him and become queen.
Our plans shall not always come to pass, but it is still good to think about things that we want. That is a good way to go through life. Always be satisfied with what you have, but have some dreams about things that will make life more interesting. That way you will never be disappointed, and you will always be looking forward to the future.
Can you read me a story?
Well, there are no books here. Shall I go get one?
No, make one up. Those are always the best stories.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Ella.
Hey, that is my name.
You see, some children appreciate when their name is in the story.
Wait till she's 15. She'll get tired of it.
Ella lived in a magical kingdom, surrounded by an enchanted forest and by loving people and wonderful fairies who brought her everything she needed.
Is it true that there are fairies everywhere?
Yes, it is.
Do we ever see them?
Not usually.
Have you ever seen them?
A few times.
What do they look like?
Well, that is hard to say. They're very beautiful, but they can change their shape or their size, and they can look like however they want.
What do you mean?
There's a plan for our lives, Ella. Sometimes it happens by itself. Sometimes we make it happen. Sometimes the fairies help, but their magic can only be used to carry out the plans that were already in place. Do you understand?
I think so. Fairies can help us make our lives happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Exactly.
If anything should ever happen to your father, would the fairies be there to protect me?
Well, yes, but why would you think such a thing?
Well, Father is away so much, and sometimes when he's away, I get nervous that he's never going to come back.
Do not worry, that beautiful little head. I will always be here to take care of my little girl, and so will your father.
And so will the fairies.
Yes,
I think I shall take a treat now. How about a piece of that pie you made this morning?
and so shall your highness.
No, you are the king! That's really sad.
What do you mean?
That beautiful little girl loves her mom and dad so much, and she doesn't even know that she's going to lose both of them by living with those awful people.
You are not getting caught up in this.
Well, excuse me, I'm a very sensitive person, unlike some people.
I'm as sensitive as anybody. It's just that we've heard this story 1,000 times.
But not that part.
That's right. Grammy, is this a different version of the story?
I'm sensitive too, and I sensed that you were getting just the teensiest bit bored with the story. So I decided to change it up a bit this time.
Well, unless the fairies make Cinderella into the CEO of a company, and she hires the prince to work for her, I think we're still kind of dealing with the same story.
Shall I continue?
And we still get cookies at the end?
Absolutely.
You know, Grammy, hiding the cookies while the smell is still all over the house is really sort of cruel.
We are in a critical little mood today, aren't we?
I'm just feeling like you're up to something that you're not telling us.
When have you ever known me to do something like that?
Only all the time.
But don't you always appreciate it afterwards?
Yes, but that doesn't make it any less annoying.
I love you, Cindy. Now, back to the story. Now it came to pass that 2 years later, Ella's mother got very sick and she died. Ella was sad. She felt like she had not only lost her mother, but also her best friend. Her father tried to console her, but found that he was also very lonely. He also realized that he had been away so much that he really didn't know Ella very well. I love him, I really do. I know that he loves me too. Mother always knew what to do. Oh, Mommy, I miss you so. She was always my closest friend, on whom I could always depend. Now I'm glad to be grown, but I do feel so very alone. Thank you, my friends. I wish I could sing with you too, but mostly I wish I could find something happy to sing about. That is right, I do have my friends. So you see, even though she still had her father, Ella felt very alone. While Ella was sitting alone trying to console herself from her loneliness, her father decided to get remarried. He met a woman named Belinda, who had 2 daughters, Glorinda and Clorinda. They were not from this kingdom. They were from a distant land where there were not fairies and magic, and where things were not quite so beautiful. Ella tried to be nice to them, but they ignored her and made her feel like she was just in the way. As a way of thanking Ella's father for his service to the throne, the king himself decided to perform the wedding ceremony, and the queen and prince and princess also attended. Everyone was happy, even Ella, but she felt a little left out.
Well, hello. I do not believe we have met. My name is...
I know who you are. You are Prince Charming.
Indeed I am, but you seem to have me at a disadvantage. I do not know your name.
My name is Ella.
Ella. Was that not your father getting married just now?
Yes, it was.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
How is it that we did not meet? I did not even see you during the ceremony.
Oh, I was back here, out of the way.
A beautiful girl like you should never be hidden in a corner. You should be at the center of attention.
Thank you, Your Highness, but I'm not that beautiful, and my new stepsister seemed to be much more interested in being the center of attention.
Well, you should never let anyone push you aside. You should be proud of who you are, and let everyone know that. My mother used to tell me to be satisfied with what you have, but have a few dreams of things that will make your life more interesting. That way, you are never disappointed, and you are always looking forward to the future.
That is amazing. My mother always used to tell me the same thing.
That is amazing. She must be a wonderful lady. Oh, I am so sorry. You must miss her terribly.
I do. I do.
Charming, the carriage is waiting for us.
I'm coming, Mother! I do hope we meet again.
I hope so too.
Farewell.
He's a bit awkward, but he's a really nice man. Adorable.
Yes, you are.
The prince is so amazing. I want to marry someone just like that.
Really? Okay, we'll get back to you in a minute. Princess Adorable?
Did you like that?
Prince Charming does not have a sister.
Yes, he does. Her name is Adorable.
I think it's adorable that he has a sister.
No one asked you, and no, he doesn't.
You do know that they're fictional characters.
But, you're impossible.
In this context, I will take that as a compliment.
Charming and adorable. Now, when I marry Prince Charming, I'll have at least one adorable sister.
Okay, back to you. Number 1, you're 11. And number 2, it's easy to be charming when a difficult day involves riding your horse, looking in the mirror, and listening to people tell you how wonderful you are.
Are you telling me that you don't dream of your own Prince Charming?
No?
Yes, she does. But her Prince Charming is a junior named Brian, who sits next to her in choir and gets straight A's in everything.
He is not.
Really? Even the kids in junior high know about it.
Well, at least he's going to be qualified to have a job someday, instead of just riding around the countryside waiting to be king.
I bet he has a hard job.
I would imagine you're right. Shall we continue?
I think we've established that there's no choice.
She'd be happier if Brian was here.
I'd be happier if you weren't here.
Continuing. After the wedding, Ella's father certainly seemed happier. But life was no easier for Ella. Her father was traveling even more than he did before, and her stepmother and stepsisters made Ella feel very unwelcome in her own home.
You must be so sad your father is gone. I think it'd make me very angry if my father were away all the time. But I suppose you are used to being alone. I mean, with your mother being dead and all. Loretta! Mother told us we were not to talk about her mother. Why not? She's not daft. She knows her mother's dead. You do know your mother's dead, do you not?
Yes, I do.
See? No problem. We are family and we should be able to talk about our problems and help each other. Is that not what our mother and stepfather told us? Yes, I suppose it is. Oh, Ella, is that not such a pretty name, sister? Yes, it is. But that is not what you said yesterday. Remember what you said. A simple name for a simple girl. Ow! Ignore her, my dear stepsister. She is not quite herself until she has had her third cake of the day. Are you calling me fat? No, I do not think it is necessary at all for me to point out that you are fat. Thank you. Now, Ella, as I was saying, do you remember what a wonderful job you did at fixing my hair last week? Why, I do not think it has ever looked better. That is true. She was saying how surprised she was to find out that the poor little waif was good for something. Ow! And would you please just stop talking? What a dangerous thing it is to give a mouth to someone who has no brain to control it. but I certainly have.
Silence!
Now, Ella, would you be a dear and fix my hair?
Certainly, sister, but could you come to the stool so I could stand up instead of having to kneel?
I suppose I could, but I am just so comfortable here. And how can one be beautiful without being comfortable? Surely you understand.
Certainly, sister.
Oh, Ella, I was meaning to thank you for allowing us to have your room when we moved in. That other room was just so small.
Wait, you mean the room that I am using?
Yes, Clarenda, is not our sister just so kind to us? Well, actually...
Never mind.
Oh, what have you done?
I did not do anything!
Then where did this water come from?
Perhaps from the roof.
It's not raining. How could it come from the roof?
Perhaps it was the fairies.
Our mother told us there was no such thing as fairies.
Oh, certainly there are fairies. There are fairies all over this kingdom. My mother saw them.
Well, if your mother saw them, then she's as loony as you are. Come on, Clarenda, I need a towel for my hair.
My mother was not loony! She was the kindest person I've ever met.
You know, Granny, you should have read this story to Dad.
Why, dear?
These step-family things just never work out. He could have saved us a whole lot of aggravation.
Cindy, that is a horrible thing to say. I'm not going to just heard you say it.
Well, it's true.
No, it is absolutely not true. Betty and Val are wonderful people, and I am so thankful that they are part of our family.
Well, you don't live with them.
No, I don't, but I have spent a lot of time with them, and I think they are just a blessing to us.
Well, Betty is too bossy, and Val is just too goofy.
Bossy.
You've heard her. Like last week when you were at the house, she yelled at us to clean up our room.
She asked you very nicely to pick up your room, and you didn't do it until I stepped in and told you to clean up your room.
Well, who is she to tell us to clean up our room?
She is the woman who was crazy enough to voluntarily step into your family and keep you silly girls in line.
But sometimes she acts like it's her house.
It is her house.
Yeah, well, I walked into my dad's room the other day, and she has clothes all over the closet.
It's her room. It's her closet.
And she just hangs all over our dad.
They just got married.
Well, I walked into the kitchen the other day, and they were kissing, and yuck.
Girls, you are not being very kind.
And Val is just always in the way, and she complains anytime we ask her to do something.
Girls, that's just not true.
Okay, here's an example. And you were even there. Last week, after cleaning up after making s'mores.
Now, Cindy, you stop right there.
What?
You made her clean up the fireplace.
So?
She's your stepsister. She's only been in your house for a month, and you made her clean out the fireplace.
Well, I was putting away the marshmallows.
And I was cleaning up the skewers because they were Daddy's nice ones.
And your 10-year-old stepsister was left to clean out the fireplace.
Isn't it time to get back to the story, Granny?
Oh, my dear sweet Cindy. Okay, back to the story. Ella's life was very unpleasant in her house. About a year later, when it seemed like things could not get any worse, Ella and her family received some very tragic news. While traveling, her father was thrown from his horse and died. Ella's stepmother was very upset by the news. It made life even more difficult for Ella.
Well, my dear, there are going to be some changes around here. What do you mean? Well, your father, my husband, is dead, and I do not know how I and my girls are going to survive. But what about me? What about you? What a selfish girl. I left everything to come here and marry your father because I thought that it would be a better life for my girls and I. And now this happens. My life may well be over and all you can think about is yourself. But he was my father. So, you have already lost your mother, so you are probably used to it.
That is right. She is sad
all the time anyways.
That is true.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. She is sorry for our loss. Is that not the sweetest thing you have ever heard? Well, what else do you want me to do? Well, the way I see it, your father talked me into marrying him because he promised that I and my girls would be well cared for. Well, you still have our house to live in. Your house? Did you hear that, girls? Little Ella is going to continue to let us live in our house.
Well, thank you, Your Highness.
Belinda, what do you want from me? We are now on a first-name basis. I'm very sorry. What do you want from me? Stepmother, better. Now, we are going to have to make some changes so that we can survive in this grand home that our hostess is allowing us to live in. Well, that makes sense. Without father, things will certainly be more difficult. That is true, but I certainly hope you do not think that my poor girls will be made to suffer at all.
Thank you, Mother.
You are welcome, my dear sweet girl. So, let us see. First, we are going to have to let the maid go. Well, that seems logical. It'll mean a lot more work for all of us. All of us? I am the lady of this house. I certainly hope you are not suggesting that I lower myself to cleaning. Well, I suppose not, but certainly Glinda and Clarendon will be able to help out. My dear Ella, do you want us to survive? This household of ours will not last for very long. Our only hope is that one of these beautiful girls finds a wealthy husband who will be able to support our family.
Like the prince. The prince?
Like the prince. My friends tell me that the king is growing impatient with his son and is ordering him to take a bride soon. I certainly hope you do not think that your sisters will be able to attract the interest of the prince, let alone any other nobleman, if they are forced to endure the humiliation of washing floors.
Grammy, how could you make us listen to this? Do you actually want us to grow up thinking that the only way for a woman to get ahead in life is to find a rich man to marry?
Well, maybe for those girls, it was the only option. Besides, Cindy, it's just a story. Granny and I both know that you would never be successful if you had to wait for someone to marry you.
Girls, may I continue?
Do you know this is painful?
Yes. Now may I continue? Thank you. So, poor Ella was left alone in her own home to be taken advantage of by her stepmother and stepsisters.
So, that means I'll be taking over all of the cleaning? So kind of you to volunteer. Girls, did I not tell you what a kind and wonderful girl our dear Ella was?
Well, actually,
Be quiet! So, it is decided our dear Ella will take over the cleaning of the house and will also take care of her sisters with all their personal and beauty needs. I do not remember agreeing to that. Well, that is funny because I do not remember asking, but you cannot do this to me. Actually, I think I can. Actually, I know I can. In fact, I just did.
Mother, look what you did! You made her cry!
I know. This is horrible, and I was not even done yet.
Mother, are you sure? I think she's really sad.
Do you see what you did, Ella? You made your sister feel bad, and I was not even done telling you all the good news. What else could there be? Well, it is actually good news. We realize that you will be so busy cleaning the house and taking care of your sisters that you will not have enough time to take care of the fields also. Of course not. That is why we have fond hands. Yes, we do, but we can no longer afford to pay them, so they will need a place to stay. So they will be staying in your room. But where will I sleep? You see what I said, girls? Always thinking of herself first. But that is not true! Well, since you will be doing so So much cleaning. It seemed to make sense for you to stay right where you are. Think of how warm you will be right next to the fireplace.
In the cinders?
Ella's going to sleep in the cinders.
Well, since you have to clean them anyway, it seemed to make sense.
Ella in the cinders. We can call her Cinderella. Cinderella, I love it. It fits perfectly.
Girls, what did I tell you about making fun of your sister? Now, we are going to go into town to hear about news from the castle, and I expect that dinner will be ready and the house will be clean when we get back. You have a nice afternoon, Cinderella. You were right, girls. It does seem to fit her.
Cinderella, Cinderella.
What am I going to do? I know, but I just can't understand how people can be that mean. I know that singing makes me feel better, but right now, I'm not sure if I even want to feel better. Mother always told me that I could dream, but I think I've forgotten how to dream. If there are any fairies nearby, please show me a way that you are real. The way Mother always said you were. Please show me a way my life can be less painful. What? Wait, what is happening? Wait, who are you? How did you get here? What? You cannot be my mice. How is this possible? You mean the fairies were right here? This is wonderful! Of course I will sing with you. I was never really alone as I sat here in my home. Mother, your fairies have brought music to me. Now I can take any pain, just watch and you will see. No challenge too great for my fairies and my mice. We can dance and sing all day and night. Mother, I miss you, but somehow I know you are here. I hope that you are proud. I hope that you care. Oh no. Oh, what are we to do? They will never understand. We'll have to hide you, or they will hurt all of us. What do you mean I am the only one who can see you? It is part of the magic? Are you certain? Oh, Cinderella!
Hey, dinner ready?
No, stepsister. I'm very sorry, but I have not had the time to make dinner. I thought you'd be away much longer.
Well, we are home now, Cinderella, and we are very hungry.
What is it you are trying to hide back there? Oh, it is nothing, stepmother. Do not lie to me, you wretched girl. Now step aside. I'm sorry, I can explain. It's just... Well, you little beast. Were you trying to surprise us, or were you trying to hide this for yourself?
It is a feast, Mother. Well, after the day we've had, all that walking around, shopping and smiling, I think we deserve a feast.
Very well, Ella. We shall expect nothing less in the future. Please bring this tray to the dining room for us at once. How was all of this possible? I do not know, but my dear fairies, I'm very grateful. They really did not see you. Oh, I shall bring something to eat. Do you still like cheese? Then a cheese feast we shall have.
Well, girls, what do you think?
I liked all the magic stuff. I must admit, the Did you add that yourself?
I think it's important to keep the story fresh. Shall we continue?
Could we maybe just have one cookie while you finish the story?
But you wouldn't want them now, just when we're getting to the best part of the story.
Yes, you would. Wouldn't you, Cindy?
Jenny, that's Kramer's way of telling us that whether we want them or not, we're not going to get them until she's done.
Am I really that predictable?
Years of practice.
Okay then, back to the story. While Ella was discovering that there really was magic in her life, Prince Charming was hoping for a different kind of magic in his own life.
Good morning, my son.
Good morning, Father.
What is it that you are reading?
Oh, nothing.
Poetry. Son, we've talked about this before.
I know, Father, but I enjoy it. It also helps me focus when I have a lot on my mind.
And what exactly is on the mind of the luckiest man who has ever walked the face of this earth?
Father,
Son, I bring you the best of news.
what is it, Father?
I just issued a proclamation declaring a month of royal celebrations.
Father,
Shall I read it to you? I think it is almost poetic, if I do say so myself.
Can I read it?
not now, adorable. This is important.
I know, and that's why I'm here. Oh, and Father, he really needs you to find him a wife. He will never find someone by reading them his predictable love poems.
Father, please tell me you're not doing this, and you just need to leave.
A royal decree from His Highness King Bartholomew I. Too much? In glorious celebration of the 18th birthday of Prince Charming and the 20th anniversary of our beloved King and Queen, 3 celebrations have been planned. 1 week from today, there will be a grand ball at the castle. At this ball, maidens from throughout the land will be presented to His Highness the Prince, who will then announce his engagement 2 days hence in a grand ceremony in the public square. 1 month after that, the entire kingdom will be invited to gather outside the castle to witness the wedding of Prince Charming.
Father, I cannot do this. I will not do this.
I believe we have some misunderstandings here, my son. Allow me to clear them up for you. This is indeed something that you can do and something that you will do.
But Father, I am not ready to be married.
He really is not.
Daughter, I believe that the crown prince has told you to leave.
But Father,
Now your king has told you to leave.
Your Highness, neither of you are any fun.
Son, I know that you're not ready to be married. But as of now, you have nothing to worry about. You have 5 weeks for that. You'll see the tailor tomorrow morning and plans will begin at once.
Father, you do not understand.
No, son, it is you who do not seem to understand. Your time for your foolish notions of love and dreams and poetry is past. You have responsibilities. Our king needs to know that there is a stable successor to the throne, and like it or not, that requires you to be married. You've had everything you've ever wanted your entire life, and now you must do what is required of you.
Father, I will marry. I promise you this. But I do not wish to marry for money and power.
Be quiet or someone might hear you.
Father, why are you not listening to me?
Because you are speaking nonsense.
Father, I have never defied you, but I will only marry if I am in love.
You will marry the maiden your kingdom needs you to marry.
No, Father, I will not. I am going to fall in love. I am going to follow my heart. And I am going to get married when the time is right.
Charming, just stop this nonsense.
This is not nonsense. Father, we have all the money we could ever want. We have everything we could ever need. Why would we want more?
Son, take a seat. Charming, if you ever reach a point where you cannot imagine more, then you just need to use your imagination. And this is what our imagination is for. There is never enough. There is always more. And that is what our family is for. We do not steal. We do not take what should not be ours. But we will always take as much as we can get so that our family will always get stronger. This is your legacy, my son. Being prince comes with many, many privileges, but it also comes with many responsibilities. And one of those responsibilities is for you to marry a maiden from family who will add to our family's wealth and power. It is what I did. It is what my father did. What my grandfather did. What my great-grandfather did. It is what my great-great-grandfather did, and my son, it is what you will do.
But Father,
Get a handle on yourself, son. I'm not asking you to go off to war. I'm asking for you to choose a beautiful woman to marry. You can be happy about it. You can be sad about it. You can go read your poetry and cry about it. But you will do it. Now, I have business to attend to. I have told the steward to have dinner prepared for you at 6. You do not keep your mother waiting.
but
Is he gone?
who?
The king.
Yes, he is gone, and I'm done.
What do you mean?
Joseph, what am I going to do?
So, what is troubling the royal brain today?
A little less sarcasm would be fine.
I am sorry, your highness. What do you require from your humble servant?
Can you see that I'm having a bad day? Can you please stop trying to be funny?
But do you not require me to be witty in order to serve your needs?
What is it with you today with the groveling?
I am troubled to your highness.
And what, pray tell, is troubling you, my friend?
I have a very dear friend. Actually, someone in a very high position. Who is behaving like an idiot.
Is that any way to talk to your future king?
Make up your mind, Char. Do you want a loyal duke or a friend?
A friend. You know that. But if you call me Char one more time, I'm going to send you to the dungeon.
Yes, I know, but just feels weird calling you charming.
Am I not?
And that is why.
Joseph, if you drop all this, what am I going to do about my father?
Well, here is a simple piece of advice. Find the most beautiful girl in your kingdom. Ask her if she wants to marry the richest, most powerful, most attractive, and most charming man in the entire kingdom, and then settle down and start giving the king some grandchildren like he expects you to do.
But I cannot do that. I have promised myself that I will only marry for love.
Well, I do not know about you, but I have been around every part of this kingdom, and I've met a number of maidens that I would love to be married to.
You do not understand. No one understands. I know that there is more to life than this, and I will not settle for less.
Char, this is your life. This is your destiny. You're born into all this power, and if you ask me, it's not a bad position to be in.
Does nobody understand? There is magic in this kingdom. I have felt it. I have seen it. And I know it will lead me to my destiny.
Oh, you are not still talking about that beautiful but shy girl that you met because your sword magically appeared at her feet. I've told you before, you drop the sword and any maiden looks good when she is looking at the future king. This is not a fairy tale, it is real life, and you had better find a wife soon, because after all these years of just being best friend to the prince, I'm looking forward to being chief counsel to the king.
And what makes you think you'd be my chief counsel?
Because I am the only one who will listen to you when you start talking about beauty, magic, fairies, and mysterious maidens. Anyone else would tell the entire kingdom that their king had gone off the deep end.
Would you be serious? What am I going to do about my father?
I really wish I knew what to tell you. I love the fact that you're such a hopeless, wide-eyed romantic. But there comes a time where you have to do what you have to do. You're my best friend, and I would love to see you find what you're looking for, but you're not like other people. You're going to be king one day, and that does bring some responsibilities.
I do not mind the responsibilities. You know that. I've studied. I've trained. I've spent my entire life preparing for this job. But I do not see why the future king cannot marry the woman he loves.
Because the current king, who happens to be the future king's father, believes that marriage is a way to gain power and make the kingdom stronger.
That does not help me.
Have you spoken about this with your father?
Yes, just before you arrived. Would you like me to call him back?
No, that is fine. Have you spoken about this with your mother?
I have not spoken about this with my mother. I know that she was selected to marry my father, and I do not know how she feels about my marriage.
Maybe you need to talk to your sister.
Please not now. I'm having an important conversation.
With him?
I am a respected and high-ranking nobleman in this realm, and the future counsel to the king. Can you please get her to stop doing that?
I've been trying since the day she was born.
See, he's accepted how adorable I am. And maybe you shall as well, because someday you're gonna need to find a wife too.
It's the dungeon. It's the dungeon.
Are you gonna speak to me this way?
If it will get you to leave, maybe I'll let him become king.
We'll be that way. I know where I'm not wanted.
Actually, you do not. That has been your problem for years.
Well, Just wait until you need me. Do not hold your breath. I am a princess, you know. Enjoy the rest of your day, Your Highness.
Ignore her, Joseph. What am I going to do about my father?
Char, I know you want to protect her, but I do think you need to talk to your mother. Maybe she'll be able to understand what you're going through.
And what perhaps should he be speaking with his mother about?
I am sorry, Your Highness. I did not know you were there, or I surely would not have been speaking about you.
Relax, Joseph, and stop all the bowing. The king is not here. I put up with the bowing from everyone else, but I do not need it from you.
Yes, Your Highness. Oh, sorry. I guess it's just a habit.
Get off with his head!
Your Highness?
Really charming. Out of the whole kingdom, this is the smartest friend you could find.
What he lacks in intelligence, he more than makes up for in loyalty. Good day, Mother.
And what may I ask were you two boys speaking about?
Oh, nothing that you should be worried about.
Now you sound like your father.
But I think sounding like the king would be the highest of honors.
Is he always like this?
I think Father scares him.
Unfortunately, that's something that the king enjoys doing. My guess is that you were talking about the fact that the king wants you to be married.
That is amazing. How did you know that?
Well, it's the only thing that anyone in the castle seems to be talking about. So my son, I guess you have a few questions that you would like to ask me?
But Father always says you shouldn't be concerned with serious issues.
I know, dear. Son, I learned a long time ago that's always a good idea to listen to your father when he's in the room. But right now, he does not appear to be in the room.
But surely you do not mean to disobey the king. I do not think I should be party to such conversations.
I also don't think that you should be party to my son and I talking about marriage. You may take your leave, my Lord Duke Joseph.
Yes, Your Highness, I shall take my leave.
Joseph, stop with the bowing, and please do not walk away backwards.
But when leaving the presence of royalty, one should never turn one's back.
Well, there are two problems with that. One, you may trip. And that after one trips, it is very rude for the royal person to laugh at you if you are facing him.
Yes, good day, Your Highness.
He is actually a fine man, and a very good friend.
I know that he is. In fact, he's exactly the type of friend that I hoped you would find. Down to earth and simple. But let us get down to the business of the day. Son, there's a question that you've been wanting to ask me, but you are too afraid to because you don't want to burden me or make me upset.
Oh, no, Mother.
Son, I can ask the question myself and then answer it, but it will be a much less interesting conversation.
Mother,
Yes, my dear?
do you and Father love each other?
What an interesting question. I never thought about it.
Mother,
I'm glad you asked. Knowing that you need to answer this question, I've given it a great deal of thought. So here's what I can tell you. Your father's a good man. I love my children, and I love being queen. We may disagree on many things, but I know that he always puts the needs of his kingdom and family first. I was not in love when I first married your father, but I know that I've grown to love him, and I know that he loves me. Does he love me in the way that you dream of falling in love? I do not think so. But I also don't think that he was made that way, or that he would allow himself to be swept away like that, because he takes his duties so seriously.
are you happy?
I have everything that a person could ever want. I have servants attending to my every need, and I do get to help people. And I've been able to raise two wonderful children. So yes, I believe I am happy.
Then what shall I do? Shall I defy Father?
While the king and I may disagree on somewhat this issue, your father's decision does have some merit.
Mother,
I'm sorry, son. You should continue to look for the woman of your dreams. I'm confident that I will be able to convince your father into letting you marry someone who's not rich and powerful. But he's correct in saying that it must happen soon.
but Mother, that is not fair.
It may not be fair, but it is true. Son, you are not like other people. You will be king someday, and you've reached the age of marriage, and if you remain unmarried, our kingdom and our family are at risk. I know you disagree with your father's plans for marriage, but there is a truth of fact that he is protecting you and your future kingdom by ensuring you to marry now.
Then what shall I do now?
Pull yourself together. Accept how lucky you are and how loved you are. Then take a deep breath, find a beautiful maiden, and get married.
Mom.
This is so emotional. They have to find each other.
Let me think. Unless Grammy changes the story completely, the last words are still, they lived happily ever after.
How did you get so cynical?
How do you even know what that word means?
Girls, can I keep going?
Yes, I have to see what's going to happen.
So, while the prince was very concerned about the ball that his father had planned, some people were very excited about it.
The prince is having a ball! Mother, what are you going to wear? I'm going to wear this fancy gown. No, I'm going to wear this fancy gown. Why waste it on you? You're old and ugly. Our family's only chance is for me to marry the prince. Are you crazy? Mother, would you please tell me that I'm going to marry the prince?
Sisters, what is happening?
The prince is having a ball for all the maidens in the land so that he can choose a bride.
That sounds wonderful. I would enjoy going to a ball.
Mother, did you hear that? Cinderella thinks she's going to the ball.
I am sorry, my dear. The prince is looking for someone to marry. You would simply embarrass our family.
Besides, what would you wear? That's right, all you ever wear those rags.
But I have my mother's gowns. They're both very beautiful. Cinderella, you darling, you have saved the day. Girls, I will wear my fancy ball gown. And girls, you will each wear the dresses from Cinderella's mother. But those are my mother's dresses. I should at least be able to wear one of them. What? I have never heard of such a thing. Your father takes us from our home, brings us to this new place, promises that he will take care of us, and then leaves us almost penniless. And now, at the first opportunity our family has to see a path out of this horrible situation, you are too selfish to let your sisters borrow some dresses, even though you have to know that there is no way the prince would ever marry you. I'm sorry, girls. I guess we will not be able to go to the ball, marry the prince, and save our family from disaster because your stepsister is too selfish to let us borrow some dresses. Well, I suppose you can borrow them.
Thank you, dear Cinderella. I'm going to choose first. No, I'm going to choose first.
Girls, I will not have you ruin this night by fighting over some dresses and tearing them.
What rats they are.
Yes, I guess they are.
Of course they are. Why does Cinderella even put up with this? Why doesn't she just smack them?
Jenny, I don't think violence is ever the solution.
And she has to put up with it, or else there wouldn't be a story.
Violence and cynicism. Has anyone seen my wonderful granddaughters?
Right here, waiting for a happy ending and some cookies.
Then we'll keep going. So Ella gave up her mother's beautiful dresses, even though she really wanted to go to the ball and meet the prince. A week went by. Ella worked non-stop, helping her stepmother and stepsisters prepare for the ball. Ella was very hurt and wished that she could go. She was tired, but never lost her temper with her sisters, who finished getting ready and looked, well, as good as they could look.
Cinderella, my hair! Cinderella, my dress! Cinderella, help me! Cinderella, me first! Mother, Cinderella, fix my hair! Mother, I asked first!
Cinderella, will you help these girls? How did I get cursed with such a lazy, ungrateful child? My ladies, are you ready to leave?
We have to leave! Mother, Cinderella is making us late! I'm not ready, Mother!
Cinderella, will you help these girls? Okay. Well, at least they are gone. Thank you, my friend, but I do not want to sing. I want to go to the ball. Those dresses should be mine. Why am I still here? I know the fairies can do some powerful magic, but can they get me to the ball? Then I will ask them. Fairies, dear fairies, I do not want to be selfish. I really do not, but I've just sent my stepmother and stepsisters to the ball. And I really wanted to go, but I have no dress, no time. I've met the prince before. He probably does not remember me, but it'd be so much fun and it would be nice to see him again. But again, I also have no way to get there. I need some magic. What? Mom?
Fairy godmother is Cinderella's mother? That can't be. You can't just change a story like that.
I think it's kind of interesting. Grammy, did you think of that?
Who said the fairy godmother was Ella's mother?
Well, Ella said it. Well, you said it. Well, is it true?
Shall we get back to the story and find out?
Yeah, I guess.
You're getting into the story, aren't you?
I didn't say that. Besides, it's the same old stupid story no matter how many little wrinkles you throw in to try to confuse us.
Okay, but you never know when you're going to learn something new from an old story.
Okay, I'm a little interested. But can we save the moral of the story for later?
Don't worry about it. Have you ever known me to skip the moral of the story?
Back to the story, Grammy.
Back to the story. So, out of the flashing lights, the fairy godmother appeared, and at that moment, Ella thought that she looked just like her mother.
Mom? Mommy, is that you? How is this possible?
Hello, Ella. I'm your fairy godmother.
But you look just like
Your mother. I thought I would say that.
And you sound just like her too. How is this possible? Are you my mother come back to life?
No, my dear, I'm not. But I'm magical. And magical beings can appear however you want them to appear.
Really?
Yes, my dear.
Then why would I want you to appear like my mother?
Well, you have been thinking about her a lot. She was the one who told you to believe in magic, and you just watch your sisters go to the ball in her dresses.
I guess you are right. I was thinking about her a lot. But how did you know that?
Remember? Magic! Right. Well, my dear, you want to go to the ball?
Yes, I do! Can you help me?
Of course I can. The most beautiful gown. Stunning glass slippers. And this beauty coach. You'll be the most beautiful woman at the ball, but not just because of your dress.
Godmother, this is amazing! How can you do all of this?
I can do it because it is supposed to happen. You have a magical life ahead of you, my dear. You always have been. And tonight we'll use some magic to help move it along.
Wait, I remember. My mother told me this when I was a little girl.
Your mother was a very wise woman.
And very beautiful.
Well, thank you. Now you better get ready. You have a ball to get to.
Will you be at the ball with me?
You will not see me, but remember, I'm always watching you.
Thank you, Godmother.
Oh, I almost forgot one important thing.
What is that?
All of this magic will only last until midnight. At midnight, the coach will turn back into the pumpkin, and your beautiful gown will turn back into the curtains from your front windows.
But I thought you could do anything. What if I'm talking with the prince? What if I'm not ready to leave at midnight? You said that the magic was there to make everything happen that is supposed to happen.
Oh, it is. And tonight, you're supposed to leave at midnight. Now you hurry or you miss all the fun.
But
Time
I
is
just wasted
wasting. Hurry.
She's gonna look so pretty. The prince is going to totally fall for her.
Do you think so?
Of course.
Cindy, what do you think?
Sure.
Are you even listening?
Sure.
I'm going to take away your phone and disconnect all electricity from your house. Is that okay?
Sure.
Cindy, sweetheart, what's troubling you?
The fairy godmother can only use magic to activate the plan that was already in place for Cinderella's life. I never thought of that. That wasn't in the story, was it? You just added that.
Well, maybe, but doesn't it make sense?
Seriously, Grammy, you can't just keep doing that. If you change stuff like that, you are changing the entire story.
But you said the story was boring.
Yeah, but at least I knew what to expect.
Oh, my dear sweet Cindy, we have not even started yet.
Grammy, stop it.
Okay, I will. I promise. As soon as the story's over.
And then we get cookies, right?
Absolutely. So what do you girls say? Shall we go to the ball?
Can't wait to see what's gonna happen there.
Am I frustrating you, dear?
Well, what do you think?
Good. So, Ella, with the help of her fairies, got ready for the ball and arrived just as the Duke was finishing announcing the ladies to the prince. It was a wonderful event, the grandest event that the kingdom had ever seen. All the most beautiful maidens in the kingdom were there, but none of them was happier or more beautiful than Ella.
Ladies, you look beautiful tonight. Are you enjoying yourself so far? This is your first time at the palace. You really do not need to be nervous around me. Trust me, I know I'm important. Your Highness.
Good evening. I just came to wish everyone luck and try to help you not to be nervous. My brother's name is Charming, but he's really nothing that special. Interesting. Does the royal cat have your tongues?
They do not seem to be very talkative, Your Highness.
Well, that's okay, but they are lovely.
Your Highness, 2 additional ladies are approaching.
How wonderful. 2 more. Being present to be presented.
Thank you, Your Highness. We are so honored to meet you and to be here. Yes, Your Highness, this is the greatest evening we've ever had. What can you tell us about your brother? I'm sure he must be as wonderful as he is charming.
Well, certainly he is very charming.
His name is Charming.
I had never thought of that before. I am so nervous. Those 2 do not seem to have much trouble speaking.
Your Highness, what a pleasure to see you.
I'm sure it is.
I came over to let you know being here is being here. Ladies, thank you for being here. These 3 are not very big on talking, and these 2 are very able in expressing themselves with many, many words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do you meet the prince soon?
We will begin in just a few moments. Well, best of luck, ladies. Your Highness may escort you back to your family.
Thank you, Joseph. He has a huge crush on me. He just doesn't know it yet.
Your Highness, your lord.
Shit,
Control yourself, Joseph. There's something familiar about her. Watch. She's the one Charming's gonna choose. You can have to pick on the Chatty sisters.
ladies, follow me. Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Genevieve from Bourgogne.
Son, I envy you. Why is that, Father? Look at all these beautiful maidens, and you may have your choice on any one of them. They are lovely, but none of them seem right.
None of them are right? Where did I go wrong?
Just wait. There will be someone perfect.
What?
Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Jacqueline from Provence.
What do you mean?
Oh, son, ignore her. Son, just open your eyes and look around this room. Any one of these ladies would make a beautiful bride.
I am sure they would. And I'm sure they will once they meet the right man.
But, my son, you are the right man. Make a choice. You cannot go wrong.
Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Florinda from Bretagne.
Okay, well maybe you feel a little wrong. But that should just make the choice even easier.
Father, Please stop. You are being very impolite.
But it is my party. Should it not be evil to have a little bit of fun?
Fun, yes, but not at someone else's expense.
I know he's the king, but should someone not say something?
Help yourself, daughter.
No, thank you.
You are aware I can hear you.
Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Clorinda, sister of the Lady Clorinda, also from the town.
See, my son, your choices get even easier all the time.
The poor maiden. She seemed terrified.
I would be too if I came to the palace and could not even walk in a straight line.
He's extremely rude.
But he is clever.
Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Clementine from Alsace.
Now that is more like it. Who was it who made the rule you can only marry once in this kingdom?
Father, it was you! Please be quiet, or Mother will hear you. Mother has heard everything, my dear, and she's not surprised.
See, your mother does not even mind.
I did not say that I did not mind. I simply said that I was not surprised by the king's less than moral behavior.
See, Father, you are going to hurt Mother's feelings.
Not to worry about it, my son. I will forget all about it when I'm dancing with this very cute young coachman.
My word, the two of you. Is it any wonder that I'm not excited about getting married?
Your Majesties, please welcome the Lady Eleanor from the distant and mysterious land of Moldavia.
Now, son, you must admit that she is beautiful. Son, are you alright?
Son, say something. Son, breathe.
She is.
I told you, I know my brother.
I think he likes her.
Did you react that way the first time you saw me?
No. Our reaction was your father had.
You are impossible. The royal family now invites you to join them on the dance floor.
You are a wonderful dancer, Lady Eleanor.
Thank you, Your Highness.
I love this melody.
I do also. There's almost something familiar to it.
Really, I had never heard it before, but this band is wonderful.
They really are.
You know, it was the oddest thing.
What is that?
Everyone in our royal band was ill this morning, but as soon as the ball started, this band showed up out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was almost magical. They do not talk very much, but they are very nice.
Mice?
No, nice.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Would you like to go take a walk out on the terrace? It is really quite beautiful.
I told you, I know my brother. That's my future sister-in-law.
But certainly, everyone will be watching us.
I suppose they will. I guess I've gotten used to it. It has been that way my whole life.
I do not think I could ever get used to that.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, if I was with you, it would be okay because everyone would be looking at you.
Clorinda! What is it? The prince just left! Hello? No, it's Lady Eleanor. I knew it. What do you mean? It's just like Mother always said. Shallow men like the prince always go for someone like her. I know, she's just so perfect. Really, how boring.
What is it, dears?
We were just
just talking about the fact that the prince left with Lady Eleanor.
This is exactly as I've always told you.
I know. She's just so boring and perfect.
Really, I will never understand men. Why would a man like that want a girl who's so thin and quiet and perfect when he could have one of you girls?
Exactly. But, Mother, what shall we do now?
I did not raise you girls to be quitters. If the prince is unavailable, we will turn our attention to the next best thing. His best friend.
Still hear the music?
I think they're playing that song again.
You mean our song?
Surely. This hardly seems to be true.
I was hoping that it would be you. Everything has changed, life will never be the same. It feels like they changed the rules of the game.
It feels like magic. How can I explain?
All those dreams, then suddenly today, you are actually here. Like all my dreams come true. I feel like everything has changed because of you. Would you like to go back inside and dance?
I suppose we should, but could we stay out here for a while? It just seems so perfect.
I love that they sing together. That's so sweet. Cindy, isn't that sweet? I bet Prince Charming has a wonderful voice.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just a dreamboat.
Cindy, dear, what's troubling you?
I'm just trying to figure everything out.
But you said yourself, it's a very simple story.
No, not the story. You.
Oh, well, if you're trying to figure me out, that is much more complicated.
You're up to something. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
My mother used to say I was up to something from the moment I was born. So, you've got some catching up to do. Shall we get back to the ball?
Yeah.
So Ella and the prince returned to the ball. Everyone was dancing and having a wonderful time. In the prince's absence, Florinda and Clorinda had turned their attention to the Duke, who was working very hard to try to get away from their attentions without appearing impolite. As Ella and the prince started to dance, she noticed that the time was 5 minutes till midnight.
Oh, what a wonderful evening!
I agree, Lady Eleanor. I cannot remember a more enjoyable evening. Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
I know that you're from a very distant land, but you seem so familiar. Could you remove your mask for just a brief moment?
I'm sorry, but that would be against the rules.
I know, but I'm a prince. I make the rules.
Then perhaps some other time. Your Highness, I truly do not know how to thank you for tonight. It is an evening I will never forget.
Neither shall I, but you talk as if I will not be seeing you again, and you talk as if the evening is almost over.
Well, you see, my coachman needs to leave.
Well, tell him to stay. No, I will tell him to stay. No, what am I saying? We have the finest coachman in the land. Wherever you need to go, I promise you will get there safely.
That is very kind. But I'm staying with some friends nearby, and they need to get home.
Well, that is no trouble. You can stay here. Introduce me to your friends, and I will have the servants prepare the finest guest suite.
I'm sorry, but that will not be necessary. I did have a very nice time.
Do not be silly, my dear Eleanor. The evening is still young, and I intend that we'll be seeing quite a bit of each other. Actually, on our way to meet your friends, I would very much like to introduce you to my parents.
I'm sorry, but that cannot be possible.
Eleanor, you were aware of the purpose of this evening.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Then you should be staying, because I believe I have made a decision that I would like to share with the entire kingdom.
Yes, no, yeah, but that just cannot be.
Of course it can be. I am the prince.
I know, and I'm just not who I appear to be.
Eleanor, come back! Wait!
I don't understand. Why did the fairies make her leave? If they could do magic, why did they make it so that she could stay with the prince?
Because they can only do the magic that is supposed to happen.
Very good, dear. I think you're beginning to understand.
Understand? Really? I have no idea where you're going with this, Grammy.
Just the way we like it.
So, let's leave the mystery stuff aside and get back to what we know.
And what would that be?
You know, the prince finds the glass slipper and searches the entire kingdom looking for the mysterious maiden.
And then they get married and live happily ever after.
Or so you think.
Seriously, Grammy, you can't just keep messing around with the story.
Why, I thought you liked all the twists.
Sure, fly around some fairies and teach a few mice how to play music. But they have to live happily ever after.
Why, Cindy, I do believe that someone has gotten caught up in the story.
Cut it out, Grammy.
Okay, I will. What are you gonna say? Shall we get back to the ball?
Great.
Good, but you're up to something. I'm going to figure you out.
Okay, nothing up my sleeve, and I promise that I won't leave the room.
Fine.
Prince Charming was distraught that Lady Eleanor had run away.
Distraught?
Really, really sad.
He was very sad, dear.
Thank you, Grammy.
So, the prince was very sad. The woman of his dreams had mysteriously appeared at the ball, but just when he was ready to announce his intention to marry her, she just as mysteriously disappeared.
Joseph, what am I going to do?
Well, maybe we need to go to Moldavia and look for her.
I don't even know if Moldavia is a real place. I don't know where it is. She said that she was staying here, in the kingdom.
Did she say where?
If she did, I would already be there.
It does seem odd that she would just leave like that.
Everything was so perfect. And then, as soon as the clock started to strike 12, she just ran.
And she did not say anything?
She said that her coachman and her friends had to leave, and that she was not who she appeared to be.
It was a masquerade. No one was who they appeared to be.
I know, but it was more with her. It was like I knew her without even knowing her. Joseph, she's everything to me. She is everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever dreamed of, everything I've ever imagined. All in that one beautiful, mysterious package.
I am so sorry, but what is that you have been holding?
As she was leaving, she tripped and lost one of her glass slippers. It is all I have left of her. It has magic in it. I know it.
Magic or not, it does seem pretty rare. If only we could find the other one.
That is it! We will take to the road. We will travel to every house where there is an unmarried maiden and see if the shoe fits.
Sure, we can do that. Charming, you do know that there were many, many women at the ball. It is more likely that the shoe will fit more than one of them.
But the magic. You will see her. You will hear her. You will place it on her foot and something magical will happen. I know it.
Adorable. My dear sister, thank you. When did you become such a romantic?
Last night at the ball, when I saw you dancing with Eleanor, and when I saw Joseph trying to run away from his two sisters.
Please do not remind me.
Well, this is our plan. Time is wasting. I must go tell my parents.
Great, let us go do that. I would leave out the magic part though.
Are you coming with me?
Of course I am.
I thought you were afraid of my parents.
You're my friend, and you need me. No fear is too great.
And plus, those sisters are much, much scarier than our parents. That means they're going to find him,
right? Of course they're going to find her, goofball.
Cindy, that was not very nice.
I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time figuring this whole thing out.
What do you mean?
The story. It's almost over, and I can't figure out yet what you're doing. I mean, do you want me to just be as kind and as gentle as Cinderella? Because, do you want me to just let problems take care of themselves? No, you would never say that. Does it have to do with the fact that both of our mothers died? Grammy, this is really driving me nuts.
I'm so sorry, dear. The last thing I want to do is upset you. Trust me. Just relax. Let's finish the story, and then we'll talk about it.
She gets a little dramatic. Teenagers, you know.
Can you stop her?
Even better. I'll stop both of you and finish the story. So the prince, the princess, and the duke went to see the king and queen to tell them of their plan to find the mysterious Lady Eleanor.
Who was actually Cinderella.
Yes, it was actually Cinderella.
Mother, Father, I need to speak with you.
We were looking for you, son. Everyone is talking about the excitement for the ball, and we wanted to find out what happened.
Well, I found her.
Found who, son?
The woman of my dreams. The woman I've been searching for.
Well, let us hold off on making any quick decisions here. I have not even met her. I do not know her family or their property.
Bartholomew, let the boy speak. Son, was it Lady Eleanor? I did see you spending a lot of time with her.
Now that was an attractive lady.
Yes, it was. She's gone. I do not know how or where, but I must find her.
Well, perhaps someday we will. But for right now, we have an announcement to make the day after tomorrow. So we also have a decision to make. Now that Lady Genevieve, wonderful girl, very wealthy family. They own over half the vineyards in the neighboring kingdom.
Father, have you been listening to me? She was here.
But where is she now?
We have to find her.
Son, that is foolish. It will take days, even weeks to search the entire kingdom. And she sits feast from Moldavia, and even I do not know where that is.
Nor do I, but I will find her.
Nonsense. I will not allow it.
Father, give me 3 days.
Unacceptable.
Father, you must.
Excuse me? The only thing that I must do is what is best for my family and my kingdom. And that is to ensure that my son marries a woman from a family who will add to our family's wealth and power.
Your Highness, you have to listen to him.
Joseph, did you just tell me what to do?
Keep going, Joseph. Your Highness, it just feels like you're not listening to the prince. I just wanted you to understand how important this was to him.
He's so attractive when he's being forceful.
Can we please worry about one marriage at a time?
Well, Joseph, I certainly appreciate your boldness, and I can fully assure you I understand how important this is to my son. However, if it is all right with you, I will retain the right to tell my son when he's behaving like a child.
Father, please, give me 3 days to find the woman of my dreams, and if I do not, you can decide on who I will marry.
Charming, you cannot do that.
Father,
Sorry, unacceptable. I do not even know anything about this woman. We will take the right steps now.
Bartholomew, you will wait 3 days. You will give your son whatever resources he needs to find this woman, and when he finds her, you will give him your blessing to be wed.
I will do nothing of the sort.
Bart.
I told you to never call me that in public.
And I just told you to relax and for one time behave like a father instead of a king.
And why would I do that?
Because I asked you to. Because our son is begging you to. And because if you do not, you can get used to sleeping on the royal couch.
What did you just say to me?
Go, Mom! Go, my son. Our love goes with you. Joseph, I'm counting on you to keep him safe and keep him sane. Can I go as well? I just said I want him sane.
thank you, Mother.
3 days. Not an hour more.
Thank you, Father.
So the prince and his friend the duke set out to find the woman of his dreams.
I like the king we let us out after all. He really wasn't that mean.
No, I guess he wasn't. Interesting you picked up on that, Cindy.
They're gonna go out into the countryside, and they will eventually find Cinderella. What does any of this have to do with me?
With you? What makes you think that any of this has to do with you?
Because you're telling me. Because of the way you're telling me.
Well, I'm sorry, dear, but I guess you're just going to have to wait.
Somehow, I think I've heard you say that before.
So Charming and his friend Joseph set out to find the Lady Eleanor. For 2 days, they covered mile after mile with Lady Eleanor's glass slipper, but found no one who could fit the shoe or who the prince remembered as the love of his life. As they began their 3rd day of searching, the prince was discouraged.
Joseph, what if she's gone?
Charlie, we have to keep going.
Joseph, at sunset today, my father's going to decide on who I will marry, and I have no choice but to agree.
I know, but we have to stay positive.
Why, when I get so close? Now what will I do with these memories? What will I do with the fact that there's the most beautiful woman out there, and there's nothing I can do to find her?
I know, but right now we have to stay positive. Why, I bet we're going to find her at this next house.
Thank you, my friend. I would not be able to do this without you.
Just remember that when you become a king.
Who is it?
Duke Joseph and His Highness Prince Charming. May we enter?
Girls, get in here right now. It is the prince.
The prince here? I mess! He could not see me like this. Is that cute Duke with him? Mother, help me get ready!
You turn your back around and do not move. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. Girls, I need you in here.
May we enter, please? We have a very busy day.
Certainly, I will be right there.
Remember, think positive. This could be the one.
Oh, Duke! Hello, Joseph. Remember us?
We should run now.
Your Highness, your Dukeness, we are honored to have you in our humble home. Please excuse the mess. Our cleaning lady has been out sick these past few days.
Not to worry, my lady. During the ball at the palace, I met a woman who identified herself as Lady Eleanor of Moldavia. She fled, but lost this glass slipper. I would like to try it on every maiden in this house to see if that one might be her.
Well, of course, whatever you need. Shall I go first?
We were thinking of the 2 younger maidens.
Of course. Girls,
I want to go first. No, me. I said it first. Sorry, sister. A pleasure to meet you again, Your Highness.
Would you remove your shoe, please?
Certainly.
Those are some fairly substantial feet you got there. I'm sorry, my lady, but this does not seem to fit. May I test your sister, please?
Are you sure? It looks really close. Maybe if we got some grease or some butter.
Next lady, please.
Get up and take those canoes with you. Good afternoon, Your Highness. Good evening, Joseph. Have you been thinking about me since the ball?
Daily.
I'm sorry, my lady, but your feet are far too small.
You know what? I think I was wearing really thick socks that night. Do you want me to go get a pair?
No, thank you. Are there any more maidens in this house?
no, that is everyone.
Then we shall take our leave. Thank you. Joseph, where is my sword?
Why? Did you bring it with you?
Of course I did. I put it on the ground when I knelt, but it does not seem to be there.
Where could it have gone?
May I help you, Your Highness?
No, thank you, my lady. This is so embarrassing, but I seem to have misplaced my sword. It belonged to my grandfather. I really must find it.
You heard him, girls. Look around and find his sword.
Well, what does it look like? It looks like a sword.
Excuse me, my lady. May I take a look behind you?
I have been standing here this entire time, and I assure you, it is not behind there.
My lady, would you please move and allow me to take a look?
Certainly.
My sword! Joseph, my sword!
Yes, Your Highness, I see it. Let us be on our way.
No, you do not understand. They were here. They were all here. Just like on that day, I went over to pick it up. Looked up and... Lady Eleanor,
Your Highness,
how is this possible?
magic, the fairies,
2 years ago, there was a wedding,
my father's.
and it was you.
Yes, it was.
And at the ball?
Yes, but my name is not Eleanor.
No, it is not. It's Ella. Ella.
Yes, it is. And I think you have one of my shoes.
Of course, my lady.
Thank you, Your Highness.
I think you are going to have to get used to calling me charming.
That will not be difficult.
They are frozen.
For some of them, frozen is a marked improvement.
Would you like to dance?
Right here?
Right here is the most wonderful ball of them all, because you are here.
Charming.
Today, my life begins anew.
Today, all my dreams come true.
The magic we have seen from the fairies above has opened up our door to the magic of love. My love, from today, you will never be alone.
Oh, my love, from today, I am always your own.
The magic we have seen from the fairies above has opened up our door to the magic of love.
Shall we unfreeze them?
I suppose we should. We should be getting back to the palace before my father decides on who I will marry.
Charming!
Not to worry. It's a long story that will become very clear to understand once you meet my father. How do we unfreeze them?
I think we just need to ask.
Ask who?
Fairy Godmother! Thank you so much. I know that all you did was to fulfill what was supposed to happen, but I cannot imagine this happening without you.
Ella, my dear, you look lovely, as do you.
So are you ready?
Ready?
Start your enchanted life.
I think I have been reading it the entire time.
You are wise beyond your years, my dear. You always have been.
I had two very wonderful women looking after me.
And always will. Are you ready to face your family?
That is right. My family. What shall I say to them?
You're about to be a princess. And one day, soon, you'll become a queen, just like you have always dreamed you'd be. Despite all the challenges and all the pain, you have always been able to trust your heart. Trust it now and you'll know exactly what to say.
Will I see it again?
Perhaps, but know that I will be seeing you.
Your Highness, there is nothing to see. Cinderella, what are you doing in that dress? Take it off at once.
Excuse me, my lady. You are addressing the future queen of your kingdom. Choose your words very carefully.
Cinderella? Queen?
Charming, you.
Panther. Yes, thank you, my friend.
My honor and my pleasure.
Wait, Cinderella? Queen? How is this happening? What happened?
It was magic. It was the fairies. It was my destiny.
Oh, wait a minute. How does Cinderella get to be queen?
Why do you calling her Cinderella.
Oh, it is just a playful little family name that we use.
I do not believe that. Ella?
It was a cruel name that they called me so that they could feel better about themselves. And to keep me from standing up for myself. Now, Ella, that simply is not true. If you disliked the name, you could have told us. You know that we would never do anything to hurt you. That is not true. Each of you went out of your way to be cruel to me.
Oh, wait, sister!
Be silent, all of you.
Ella, have these women truly been that cruel to you?
Yes, they have been, but their lives have been difficult as well.
Oh, that is no excuse. Tell me what you would like me to do with them, and I assure you it will be done before sunset.
Silence.
Ella, what would you like me to do?
Stepmother, why did you do these things to me? I'm sorry, but I have no answer for that. Sisters?
It was her! It was Mother!
Why, you ungrateful!
Silence.
Ella, surely there can be no mercy.
No grace that they have earned, but I will not be the source of punishing them, especially on this day when all my dreams have come true. Bless you, my dear. Charming, they are my family. Stepmother, stepsisters, I forgive you. I hope that someday you will understand what that means, and someday you will understand what you have done, but I cannot be sure you ever will. Charming, this is a very nice home, and I would like for them to keep it. Would it be possible for us to provide a reasonable staff to keep the crops growing and to keep them comfortable and secure with the food and supplies that they will need? They will handle the cleaning themselves, and they'll make income from the crops grown on the farm. They will also not be able to come to the palace for any reason. If they wish to communicate with me, they can send messages through the staff. Do you think that is fair?
That is more than fair, my love.
Thank you.
Then we shall take our leave. We have some very busy and wonderful days ahead.
It is like a dream come true.
So the prince and his new princess departed for the palace. 1 month later, the entire kingdom gathered to see them married, and then they lived happily ever after.
That was great, Gabby. Can we read again tomorrow?
Maybe. You seem troubled, Cindy.
She just forgave them?
Yes, she did.
I can't believe that.
Why?
They were awful to her.
Yes, they were. Forgiveness is a funny thing, my dear. It can have a different impact on different people.
What do you mean?
Well, let's take a look at Ella's story. I think that Ella benefited from forgiving her family because it relieved a burden from her.
That makes sense.
But I don't know how much her family benefited because they weren't able to honestly ask for Ella's forgiveness and might not understand just how poorly they treated her.
That part of the story is kind of sad.
Life can be like that. Cindy, you're very quiet.
I can't believe you did this.
Did what?
This story. The way you told it. The step family. It was all for a reason.
I know. It made the story awesome.
No, you goof.
Cindy.
You're right. I'm sorry, Jenny,
For what?
for calling you a goof.
That's okay. She does that all the time.
No, it's actually not okay. I'm not done saying I'm sorry. Am I, baby?
Well, my dear, that is up to you. Hello? Yes, that would be great. The front door is open.
Who was that?
Just a friend.
Cindy, what does she mean? What else do you need to apologize for?
Don't you get it?
Get what?
We're the evil stepsisters.
No way! They were ugly!
Girls, I love you both very much. And I know how hard the last few years have been for you. They were hard for your father, too. And last year, he met another wonderful woman. Not to replace your mother, but to share his life with. You were very excited about the wedding. You helped do all the planning and pick out the dresses. And then Betty and Val moved in, and you felt like someone had invaded your palace.
I guess we kind of did. I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry, Betty. I'm sorry, Val.
That's okay, dear. I'm sorry too, Val. I guess we really were the evil stepsisters.
I wouldn't go as far as evil.
We did make you clean out the fireplace.
You made her clean out the fireplace?
Betty, we're making progress here.
You knew about this?
Yes, but let's stay focused on the bigger picture.
It actually wasn't that bad. I kind of felt like Cinderella.
Really?
I'm so sorry, Betty. I'm really sorry too, Val.
So, was it the fireplace that made you think of all this?
Cindy, you give me too much credit. I'm just a simple old grandmother who enjoys telling stories.
Don't believe her, Betty. I think she's actually magical. She makes things happen that no one else could ever make happen.
Really?
No, dear. Do I look magical to you?
Not really.
Jenny, you told Betty and Val what the only real magic I can do is.
She makes the best cookies in the whole world.
That's right. And who thinks we've waited long enough?
I do. I want some.
There must be some amazing cookies. I must admit, she can get a little scared when she's trying to make a point, but she does make a great cookie.
Well, what are we waiting for?
I just need to clean up in here. Betty, how about you take the girls into the kitchen, and I'll be right there.
Go ahead, girls. Thank you so much. I don't know what we would have done without you.
Anything for all my girls.
Your son was right. You are a force of nature.
Just a simple old lady.
Where are they?
You better get out there. The cookies are in the crock pot.
Who hides cookies in a crock pot?
I better get out there.
I'll be there in a minute. Thank you so much for your help. that really helped put this production together, and they are just the glue that holds everything together and helps everything that you saw tonight happen. So, we're going to start with the routine. We're just going to say a few things about some people that we're really thankful for through this experience.
Yeah, so just 3 people that we really wanted to thank were our tech guys, Mr. Har, Darrell, and Gwen. Thank you so much for everything.
Provided all the props and did all these costumes that we see here for this show. So I don't know if she's here. I don't think she's here. She came yesterday. So we would just like to thank her for helping us and taking all her time to find these costumes and getting them to fit and just doing all this stuff and getting all the props. So yes, thank you, Mrs. Nass.
First of all, he wrote the script, so all those lines that you were able to laugh at, all those characters that you were able to just fall in love with, those are all done by him, and we're so thankful that he has put in all this time, and this show would be nowhere near what it is today without him, so thank you, Mr. David.
This is an amazing thing to get to do. For those of you who are still fairly young, someday you'll sort of maybe you'll get older and sort of have these moments where you go, how do I get to still be able to do this? So this is really cool. Thank you all. Why don't you thank them all again? Thank you all for coming and doing the magic of theater with us. Those donation bins, by the way, will still be there on your way out. Because when you were out there before, you had only seen half the show. And then you saw the rest of the show. I mean, come on. So, feel free to go back. Feel free to double it or triple it. Beyond that, the math gets a little hard, but I think you know what we mean. So, we'll turn off the lights. You go enjoy.